Coming up on Home Cinema, I'm misbehaving with Gugu and Mbatha-Raw. Has there ever been a point in your life where you've been very badly behaved? I know, it's one of those sorts of questions.
I don't know.
Simon Harkness pops down the line for a chat. Third and final movie. Is it something a bit brighter for me, Simon? Come on.
No.
As I realise, I'm extra. Welcome to my home studio, aka my loft. It's a bit up close. We're in isolation, we're in lockdown. We're watching a lot of TV, a lot of Netflix, a lot of Amazon Prime, a lot of Disney Plus, Sky Movies, and BT and all the rest of them. Wherever you are, I'm sure you're in front of a TV. If you don't have Wi-Fi, well then you're not watching this video anyways. We are going to chat about all things film. Thanks Rona for delaying basically every new release. But this gives us an excuse, particularly as everyone's in isolation, to basically go through the back catalogues, pretty much all of which are either streaming on Netflix or are free to download, or if you've got Disney Plus, there are some absolute bangers on Disney Plus. And look, I've even got dressed. I've even got dressed. This is the first time I am wearing jeans or anything resembling a smart jacket in 5 weeks. 5 weeks. I don't know where to start.
Last year, 100 million people tuned in live to Miss World. More viewers than for the moon landings or the World Cup final.
Beautiful, darling. Mum, don't. You and your sisters used to love playing Miss World.
We also like to eat our own snot.
Has there ever been a point in your life where you've been very badly behaved? I know, it's one of those sorts of questions.
I don't know.
They must have no defects. And if they're not pretty much 36, 24, 36, come on, the curves won't be in the right places.
But we really believe beauty isn't just skin deep. The girls also get marks on charm, grace, deportment.
Swimsuits.
What did you feel when you read the script? Because sometimes when I was watching the movie, I thought,
Me too.
It was really, really important for me and for all of our team working on this movie to portray both sides. Not only the fantastic women from the women's liberation movement, but also the young women who are contestants.
We had posture lessons, which was really quite fun. We had a coach and we all got to sort of have this Miss World boot camp where we learned how to sit and move and practiced our walk.
I'm the first Black South African to take part. I'm the first Miss Grenada.
Initially, I was probably quite judgmental about beauty queens and thought, oh, well, there's the activists and there's the beauty queens and, you know, they're vacuous or they've got different motivations.
Miss World rehearsals are underway.
Alphabetical order, come on, Yugoslavia. What are you doing up here? That's A.
The things that I would always do would be silly, like funny. Like, you know, I dropped a custard cream on a teacher at a music concert once at school and got into trouble for that. But, you know, it was all stuff that would be a dare or would make you laugh.
well, that beats throwing up in a club and then strutting on out very confidently. Like, that's
your one?
That's my one, yeah. That is my one, absolutely. It was at uni, and the worst thing is I'm not even ashamed of it. Absolutely not.
I don't want you to think I'm some kind of brute that doesn't consider the feelings of women. I consider feeling women all the time.
He is a much-loved US national treasure.
We so often have figures from history, don't we, who present a kind of front to us, but people are human beings and do get things wrong, and he was a man of his generation.
If I win, there will be little girls who might start to believe they have a place in the world.
We're black. We're not going to be Miss World.
You don't own me. It's not you we're angry at.
I look forward to having your choices in life.
So every week on the show, I'm going to call some of my best friends out there because I want to see what you have to say. And I'm so excited because joining me down the line is my very good friend, Simon Harkness from It's Gone Viral. Simon, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, thanks, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm dressed up. I'm suited and booted. Glad to see that you've dressed for the occasion as well.
I know, I feel so underdressed. I'm very sorry. I'm very comfortable, though, if that's any consolation. This is probably the comfiest I've ever been doing this sort of work. So, yeah, I feel a little bit underdressed, but I'm incredibly comfy.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, you do look comfortable. Right, so first things first, let's get down to business. What have you been watching?
Right, yeah, I mean, let's crack on with it. So, I've got 3 films that I would recommend during this fairly insane time that we're all going through. I'm going to kick things off with a trip back in time to 2014, and This Is the End. I think this is the perfect film for us to sit back and enjoy, given the state of the world right now, and the fact that it really does feel like we're actually living in the apocalypse. As you might have guessed by the title, the end of the world happens in Seth Rogen's and Evan Goldberg's This Is the End, but surprisingly, it happens during a party at James Franco's house.
I'm just going to stop you there, because you asked me before the show, what sort of film should I discuss? And I was like, we are absolutely not discussing Contagion, because the last thing that I want to do right now is think of another pandemic, when I watch movies, all I want to do is escape. And you come to me with an apocalypse movie?
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the end of the world. It seems like this is a good time to celebrate all the sort of madness that goes on, that is currently going on, and I can't think of a better film than This Is the End, especially in a film where Jonah Hill gets, for lack of a better word, entered by the devil.
I mean, it's certainly a vibe. I know it's a good movie under other circumstances. I mean, I'm one of those who's actually refusing to watch Contagion because I don't want to be freaked out at the moment. So I'm kind of avoiding, all the pandemic films or the apocalyptic films. Zombie apocalypse is absolutely not for me. What else do you have? If it's another apocalypse movie, I'm going to bloody kill you when we're out of quarantine.
It's not quite an apocalypse movie, but it does take place inside a house which she can't really leave. The film I'm talking to is the Netflix original Hush.
Okay, well, at least all I'll say is at least it's another house and we're going to someone else's house. So, that is borderline, but that's actually acceptable, I think.
Well, for anyone who hasn't seen Hush, it might be a bit of a stretch to say that you'll enjoy being home alone with this film, given what Kate C will go through over the 81-minute runtime. But it does make you realise how lucky most of us are that we're able to stay at home during this pandemic without a masked murderer trying to break into our homes. Hush is an excellent slasher from the minds of Siegel and director Mike Flanagan, who recently directed Dr. Sleep. There's plenty of twists, scares, and surprises in store. I think I've seen it about 4 times now on Netflix.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, you said you've seen that movie 4 times. I've pretty much done the same with Matilda, to be honest, so I feel that. Really, I feel it. Third and final movie. Is it something a bit brighter for me, Simon? Come on.
No. If anything, it's creepier, but it's all good. It is, in my opinion, it's unmissable. The film, in my eyes, is one of the most underrated films of the last decade. It is Nightcrawler. Jake Gyllenhaal stars in Dan Gilroy's gripping thriller as a relentless videographer / sociopath, Blue Bloom. Have you seen Nightcrawler yet?
I haven't, because I'm just going to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of horror anyway. I haven't. This is going to be a wild statement that I'm about to make. I haven't even seen A Quiet Place.
Oh, really?
No. And I'm going to watch it in lockdown because I know it's streaming, because I just kind of avoid horror films, and I love anything to do with Emily Blunt, and obviously the first movie was so critically acclaimed and it was so commercially successful, and I'm like, yes, time to get on the trend. But I'm gonna be honest, Nightcrawler isn't something that I will watch. I can see myself at the end of quarantine getting more into horror, or maybe I'll have the other effects. Maybe I will be further less into horror. Maybe I will hear the word horror and start running.
But luckily, Nightcrawler is definitely more of a thriller than a horror, but it's worth watching purely for Gyllenhaal's performance. He is exceptional in it. It's an amazing film, and it's very, very clever, and it's so slick as well. And this kind of came at a time where Gyllenhaal really started to cement his kind of status as one of the most interesting actors around.
No, literally, Simon, thanks so much for doing this. All I will say, next time you come on, please, please, please give me something a bit lighter. I beg you. Future Josh coming in. Sorry I look like a wreck. I'm about to go on my one government-approved daily exercise walk. Hence the gilet. Just to say, Josh, you were just that little bit extra that time. I think you would agree. Maybe tone it down a bit for the next episode. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We've got even more amazing stuff, or fingers crossed amazing stuff. We're going to be chatting to Emma Stone on the red carpet. We're going to be chatting to Samuel Jackson. We've got Sarah Paulson and more. We've got loads of stuff. So tune in. It's gonna, fingers crossed, be good.